And welcome to Indie 5. In this episode we go through 5 different releases of various independent states. Let's start with Impa Vida, a German-American black metal band that is out with a new album. This one is nicely packaged in nice cardboard digipack, which includes a thin booklet and obviously CD, whatever. So this is of 4 tracks, 2 long ones and 2 short ones. The long ones being more than 10 minutes each and the short ones around 3 minutes. And this one is a curious case. It started already a few years ago. As a trio, and now it's of 2 members, one from Germany and one from United States. The latter one being the vocalist of the band. And I don't know, it seems like this band started more like a depressive black metal band. What this new release, it seems like the band is more about experimental, kind of avant-garde-ish even type of black metal, where it is exploring new possibilities to go to new boundaries, breaking them and whatever. The thing here is, the band is not always, it seems, quite sure what kind of music they're actually gonna put through. And this makes it kind of hard to approach. I wouldn't use the acquired taste card here, but it's definitely not your typical black metal release. Not only when it comes to the riffs, which are sometimes a little bit off and kind of a weird, peculiar, it's also that the whole mix with the production is very atypical as well. It's kind of as it's somewhat distant, like everything is like trying to escape your pair of ears, and the same applied to the vocals as well. They are kind of a far away, kind of a distant, which makes this album kind of weird, to listen to. It just sounds just kind of odd. Song-wise, this is kind of a hard cookie to crack in my opinion. The riffs are not really that great, and same goes for the overall feeling with this album. It's kind of a dark, but at the same time it's also kind of so much escape the whole, black metal generalization. So I don't know, it's a very weird album in a way, yet at the same time there are riffs which are very black metalish all in all. Kind of a weird case all in all. Panzerfaust is a name that most people in black metal scene probably put together with the Dogthrone album. However, there are quite a few metal bands with the same name doing the music. This one is from Canada with the album called The Sons of Perdition, Chapter 1, War, Horrid War. What a tiresome title for an album. Also a nice looking digipack. Kind of cardboard design as well. Pretty much the same kind of color scheme here as well, but with a bit more thicker booklet. Now this Canadian band has basically nothing to do with the so-called Quebec style, which is more of those French melodies and kind of a very, I don't know how to say it, kind of a trademark sound even, the type of Quebec bands doing their melodic black metal and all that stuff. This one is also a little bit atypical black metal release because at the same time it reminds me of non-black metal bands. After a couple of spins I was thinking like this could be what Slipknot was doing if they wanted to go a little bit side project, with their music, or if they wanted to explore how to go darker. Some of those rhythms are just almost of ethnic sort that is not very typical in black metal, and those rhythm pauses, breakdowns and whatever are not what you would expect from a black metal band. Also, some of those riffs are kind of a hybrid between modern, that is very 2010 type of black metal riffing, but also what you could imagine hearing on a Slipknot release. Sounds a little bit weird, but luckily enough there are more traditional riffs and ideas as well, which then again also remind me of modern times, mainly Behemoth. Some of those ideas then again are almost towards leaning like death metal, so it's kind of a Black Death hybrid with a Slipknotish twist. Doesn't exactly sound your typical black metal release, and that most certainly Panzerfaust is not. However, this is not without problems, obviously, because, I mean, many people who are leaning towards more traditional, that is 90s or even 80s type of black metal, and even if they can, accept modern types of black metal, this might be too big thing to handle, kind of a, once again, tough cookie to crack. There are certainly nice ideas, and the overall dark feeling which kind of surrounds this album is quite nice to enjoy too. But I'm not so sure if this band actually manages to break it. I mean, it's nice that they are original and atypical in general. They are not just going for the safe route with their black metal. But at the same time, it's also creating this gap between the black metal listener and their music. So at least one can say they are gonna be sellouts, because this kind of music is not gonna sell out that fast. So, interesting album for sure. The third band is a very, very mysterious band and blessed with a name that isn't quite typical. This one is called Rraaumm, and it's from Germany. Very minimal in design, very minimal in information-wise. This is just a nice looking cardboard digipack with all information here within. Nice kind of a metallic silvery color in the cover, and that's it. That's the whole thing here. No lineup information, no booklet, no lyrics, just Rraaumm with this album called The Eternal Dance at the Nucleus of Time. Now this is an interesting black metal release because it's made of a couple of longer tracks as well as a couple of shorter ones, and it's atmospheric black metal in almost like post-metallic way. That is, it's so atmospheric and sometimes going kind of weird places with its riffs that it's hard to say whether this is actually kind of a black gaze or shoegaze, post-metal with black metalish kind of a outlining. Nevertheless, this is quite an interesting one because it's kind of a mysterious, but at the same time it seems like the potential is not fully used. I mean, there is more potent than this album gives you. It's kind of a good, but it's then again a little bit like I was hoping for more. Definitely not a bad one, but still I think kind of a work in progress type of a project. Anyway, check out the link if you are interested. Now, totally different is this one called Grave of Fire, Seal of Stars. This is a compilation, so various artists. This is actually a collaboration release between Purity Through Fire and Trishna Productions and then some. And this is kind of a sad story behind this album, because this is actually a kind of a album dedicated to a memory of a graphics person who it seems died unexpected in 2017, and all these bands except one are from Slovakia, I think. So there are one Polish and the rest are Slovaks, like it was said here. So various artists playing mostly black metal, and mostly the songs here within are made for this compilation, it seems. One track was previously released, as much as I could gather from the release information. And as you can see, this is in memory of Samuel Samos Sarsky, graphic guy, logo designer, and whatever. And it seems like this Saltus track was the only one that was released prior to, or made prior to this compilation. Now, this album has very kind of Slavonic feeling that is very Eastern European, whether it's more about these kind of atmospheric, even depressive black metal ones, or the more kind of nature kind of black metal ones. They're all kind of giving the same kind of idea, in my opinion. One of those songs are more towards death metal, and the intro is definitely non-metal at all. But anyway, I must say this is quite nice compilation, not only because I totally respect this kind of homage towards this dead artist, but also because this is a nice kind of a way to get to know the Slovakian bands of today. None of these are exactly big, mostly just unknown small acts, so definitely a way to scratch beyond the surface if you want to know a little bit of that Slovakian black metal scene. So, nice compilation, even though a sad story behind it. Last but not least, we have a band called Jubal. This is also an unknown band, per this one anyway, coming from Netherlands, mysterious one with just a couple of guys, seemingly anonymous, hooded stuff and whatever. This is CDR, it seems self-financed release. Roughly 26 minutes, so kind of a MCD, EP, whatever you want to call it. And the style is actually reminding me of earlier Dark Throne. So quite raw, but not super raw. Not ultra raw like Dark Throne did with the Unholy Trinity and Panzerfaust era, but kind of a close enough. Some of those riffs are actually really good, and they remind me a lot of Dark Throne in a good way. Now, obviously, it's not a copycat band, but more like putting together some of the various ideas, and I think Jubal has done quite nicely. This is not a groundbreaking album. This is not the album of 2019. I must say it's not that good, but it's definitely something that is very nice to listen to. From everything to the production values, that is kind of rawish, but not lo-fi sounding, guitars and drums, and then those raw, raspy vocals, and the obvious thing, songwriting, they're all there to provide you with a nice encounter with this Dutch band. So definitely something that I wouldn't expecting. I must say, usually when I get a no-name band that nobody's talking about, usually I'm expecting it's just mediocrity all the way down, because it's more than likely to be that way. So Jubal was a kind of a positive surprise, delivering better than expected type of black metal. So definitely check out the link and hope you like it. To recap, once again, what we have here is various selection of indie bands, which mostly are not groundbreaking, anything new, unique, and all that stuff. But none of these albums, I think, are bad either. Definitely better than some of the other Indie 5 things. So do yourself a favor, check out those links, and hope you will enjoy at least some of them. Once again, if you have any comments, opinions, whatever, put them in the comment box below and I will get back to you. Take care and have a nice weekend.